Hello, world. I hope you guys are all doing well, and if not, I'm praying for you. But today is Tuesday, so this is kind of like a tune in Tuesday, tune in all the things that are going on. So we have some amazing projects going on at the publishing company. We have Angel Book 2 coming out soon, Jory's first book coming out, Michael's, which are all super cool things to tune in. So, check out our Facebook page. But tuning in is kind of the topic I want to talk about, and not just in the projects that we're doing that are super cool, but like tuning in life. So sometimes like creative folks or people that are very passionate about something can hyper tune into whatever it is they're working on. And sometimes that can be a blessing or a curse, because sometimes you can tune so much into that one thing that you tune out others, or you tune in so much into that one thing that you aren't tracking the days when maybe you aren't tuning in as much as you think you are. So like mentally, you're tuned into whatever project you're doing, but action wise, maybe you're taking longer breaks in between whatever you're working on, or you're taking days off, but your mind is saying, I'm tuned in, I'm focused on that. But the actions don't match. And so sometimes when we're so tuned into the thing we're working on, we can miss um, either A, when we're really not being that productive, or ignore how much of the other things in our life that we're not tuned into. And so sometimes that can be as simple as like missing a meal. Sometimes people can be so uh, focused on whatever they're doing, they're not eating, or they're not sleeping, or they're not engaging in other relationships or other aspects of their life, or whatever thing that they're doing. And the thing is, when I choose not to tune in, it can create some very obvious. It could create some consequences that maybe I don't like. So maybe it can hurt a relationship, or maybe it can be damaging to your body. Maybe it could be damaging to your mental health. And the thing is, usually when folks that say tune in too much into whatever thing they're passionate about, and maybe it's getting to that point where it's destructive, people have probably hinted at they need to probably chill out. They probably need to take a break. And maybe they, in their mind, I'm fine, I'm all right, I'll do, I'll save it for tomorrow, which is okay. Sometimes maybe it's going to take tomorrow for you to adjust, but then it doesn't happen. And the thing is sometimes for folks that are very passionate or creative or in whatever they're working on, is by the time they actually might consider taking that advice serious, or those concerns serious, maybe their spouse is walking out. Maybe their relationship with their kids is non existent. Maybe their relationship with business partners, or family, or friends, or even their relationship to their project. People out there working on dissertations can be passionate about what they're doing, but it can be so overwhelming, or unhealthy at times, that they hate the thing they made. Same thing like when I was first formatting my book, when I was formatting my book for the first time. I didn't look at my book the moment it was published, not much after that. I was so angry during that process, because you're so zeroed in and so focused on trying to get the book out, and formatting is like the biggest challenge sometimes in that process. It's not something you think about often when you're working on a book, but it can get to that point where the thing that you're passionate about, you're not passionate about anymore. You see it with bands, you see it with artists sometimes, is that they get so tuned into what they're doing that they neglect these other parts of their identity. And the thing is, sometimes those other parts of your identity were there long before you started going on this journey. And maybe parts of those other parts of your identity are one of the things that keeps you really complete. Keeps you, I'm using the word balance, but I don't like that word. It can keep you, we'll go centered, that's a little better. It can sometimes keep you centered, but sometimes in its simplest forms, it keeps you healthier than you were. And there is going to be, you know, especially if you're working on creative projects or trying to monetize something from nothing, is it is going to eat at certain times. That doesn't mean you should tune out. It means you should still tune in. Because sometimes when people tune out of the other things in their life while tuning into this one thing they really want to do, is sometimes those consequences last long beyond that project. So, like I mentioned, is like, you know, sometimes it leads to families breaking up. Well, the consequences of a family breaking up over that is, as long as everybody's still alive, those consequences continue to roll on. It doesn't go away because you accomplished that project and now you want to fix that part of your life. It doesn't work like that. So tune in.